Cristyl. Thank you for
Hi.
joining me.
So good to see you again.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I know I've seen you on video.
Yeah, just on video, but it's okay. We're all adapting.
Adapting. That's right. So we just wanted you to share a little bit with our listeners, our viewers. So can you tell us a little bit about your firm and your role there?
So I'm a closing attorney with Kimbrough Law. We are a minority and women-owned real estate closing firm that specializes in residential, commercial, and refinance closings. We're located in Midtown, but we have the ability to close in over 50 locations in Georgia. And I really enjoy what I do and the new aspect of teaching for the partners that we close with. So when you purchase a home, you need a licensed Georgia real estate attorney. When you sell a home, you need a Georgia licensed attorney, as well as when you refinance. So that's where I come into play.
Awesome. Awesome. So how does a closing attorney work with agents, lenders, buyers, and sellers? So kind of what are your roles?
So to kind of put it simply, we're charged with the responsibility of ensuring title to the property is clear and marketable. And what that essentially means is there aren't any liens that will affect the subsequent buyer or the security interest of the lender. So that involves us running a title examination on the property itself, the buyer, and the seller.
Okay. Wonderful. Is there a usual timeline for closings that buyers can expect?
Well, our due diligence period usually takes around 2 to 2.5 weeks. But when you're financing property, as you know, Kristin, it generally is a 30 to 45-day process because while the attorney's office, Kimbrough Law, is doing our due diligence, the lender is doing their due diligence to ensure the buying power of the buyer, so we don't get in another financial crisis like we did in 2018. So that means that finance transactions usually take 30 to 45 days, and cash transactions usually take 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and that's all assuming there aren't any outrageous title concerns on the property.
Okay. What would you advise a buyer to keep in mind when working with you? Like, what are some things that they need to kind of, so most of these are directed towards buyers instead of.
Okay. So don't freak out. If this is your first purchase, feel free to reach out to Kristin and the team, reach out to us, because it really does take the collective effort from every party to get this done. So when you have a question, ask us. Be sure to check your emails. We, in the real estate industry, we primarily correspond through email, and that's to keep a record of everything that's exchanged. So if you don't normally check your emails, if you know you're in underwriting, you may want to check your email frequently. We use a secured portal to transmit your private information. It's not unusual for us to ask for your social security number, any other private identifying information. If you know you're going through a divorce, we're going to need to know that too. If you're going through bankruptcy, I'm sure the lender will catch that, but if they don't, we'll need to know that too. And just one little small thing that doesn't have a huge effect, but however you input your name on that loan application is how it will be throughout the entire transaction. So if your name is Sarah, Jessica, Robinson, David, Sam, and that's what you put, the entire full name on the application, that's how you're going to have to write it when you come into our office and sign about 100 pages. But you want to include some sort of middle name or middle initial. Because
if you have a common name.
Yes, if your name is Sarah Smith, there's going to be 1,000 Sarah Smiths and liens that are associated with a Sarah Smith that may not necessarily be you. So your middle name would specifically identify you. So you would want to keep that in mind.
Awesome. Yeah, I had a buyer who did like first of all, her last name is like 15 letters, and then she included her middle name too. And so she's like, I have to sign everything. We're like, yes. Oh, you see that stack of papers? All of them.
Yeah, if you have a last name that has 15 letters, chances are it's not a common last name.
Right, it's not.
Just be good with the first and the last name, and maybe a middle initial if you really want to be extra cautious. But use your best judgment.
Use your best judgment. I was like, girl, okay, we're gonna be here all day. Okay, so there have been a lot of changes going on very rapidly in terms of real estate, especially a lot of things that impact you all. So, what's going on like now in terms of like the recent changes? I know, like,
Listen, that's a loaded question.
I know the governor, just signed something about electronic closings. Like, what's
So Governor Kemp has issued an order, it's been maybe 3 days now, that has authorized the settlement industry, which is what real estate, that's what we're doing, to notarize documents through video. And so the language that he actually uses is simultaneous sight and sound, which is a video.
Right.
So now we have quickly implemented another software system that allow us to close through video, similar to how we're doing now. We are still figuring out how to operate the system as well. So it's difficult to explain, but essentially it's encrypted and it's secured. So we're going to have the ability to securely send the closing package through that software. We're going to electronically sign their own signature. I'm not exactly sure how yet because we haven't used it yet. So I apologize. And then send it back to us through that same software. And just for those of you who are less familiar, closing attorneys are also notaries. So we're able to, as a closing attorney, fulfill our ethical obligations of explaining what you're signing while witnessing and attesting to the person who you claim to be is actually signing. And our software also has several security questions that you have to answer that only that individual would know. Similar to how when you're getting a free credit report and you have to answer a bunch of identifying questions, it's similar to that.
Okay, that's like a brave new world. It's all saying
like, we're young, but we're not young to the point that we're just up on all the latest technology.
Right. I was like, okay, I figured that I'm a little savvy, but I was like, what? We're going to do what? How are we going to do that? Like,
and I should just note two things. One, the order is temporary. So as soon as the public safety order is lifted, the subsequent eve closings will be lifted. So I don't want realtors to like go celebrating, thinking this will be normal. But we are adapting.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about like just different closings, and you guys are still like, people are closing like left and right, and I was like, okay, they gotta go to work every day with all these people. And
so logistically, what we were doing prior to the video closings was minimizing our closings to Wednesdays and Fridays. So that staff, we lessen the chance of being exposed to something if we don't have to go out in the public Monday and Friday. And so in addition to that, we're asking, prior to video closings, we ask that realtors and everyone else that's not a buyer or seller attend via video.
Right.
And
I was like, thank you.
Yeah. And of course, we're disinfecting after every closing. I'm not even at work right now. I'm at home and still got these right here.
Oh yeah, they're like in my car. They are everywhere I am. So absolutely. Okay, is there anything else you want people to know about what you do, or any advice?
No. So about what we do, we are here to work in the background. So you won't get much interaction with us directly, you'll primarily be corresponding with your real estate agent. But we're always here to answer any legal questions you have. If you have questions related to the numbers, like why is my loan amount this? Why is the purchase price that? Anything associated with the numbers would be best answered by the lender. And then if you just need general questions, maybe about the contract, reach out to Kristin, reach out to the team. And even if you get totally confused about who reach out to us and we'll tell you.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much, Cristyl, for taking time.
I hope you're staying safe.
I am. I have been inside pretty much for this is going on 4 weeks for me. I kind of stopped before everybody else did. So yeah.
And you're not going crazy. You still have hair.
Yeah, last week was a little tough, but I have like my little routine. I go to the store maybe once a week or something like that. But yeah, I'm good. Okay. I'm an introvert. I can entertain myself. So
you introvert. See?
Yeah. I've been good. So.
Oh man. Yeah, sometimes I take a joyride to the grocery store just to get some more bacon, just because.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I think I need this, so let me go to the store. So yeah, so that's about it. So stay safe, and thank you for all that you do, and thanks for taking time to speak to us today.
Thank you. I'll talk to you.
Have a good one. Bye. Bye.